So, this is a novel, Catch 22, Vintage Heller. Catch 22. Joseph Heller was born in 1923 in Brooklyn, New York. He served as a bombardier in the Second World War, afterwards attending the colleges of New York University and Columbia University and then Oxford, the last on the Fulbright Scholarship. He then taught for 2 years at Pennsylvania State University before returning to New York, where he began a successful career in the advertising departments of Progressively Time, Look, and McCall's magazine. It was during this time that he had the idea for Catch 22. Working on the novel in spare moments and evenings at home, it took him 8 years to complete and was published in 1961. His second novel, Something Happened, was published in 1974, Good as Gold in 1979, God Knows in 1984, and Closing Time in 1994. He is also the author of play We Bombed in New Haven. Joseph Heller died in December 1999. तो इसको देखते हैं. Let's read. Should we go through introduction? इंट्रोडक्शन से चालू करें या पूरा ही पढ़ें? Let's start with introduction. Okay. It was love at first sight. The first time I saw Joseph Heller, I fell madly in love with him. There was no second time. He was already ill when I met him. Slower by all accounts, less animated, more preoccupied with what was happening inside himself. But he was still dashingly attractive in that leonine Jewish Bryonic style, still had his marvelously comic Coney Island drawl, still took in those he talked to, and still looked as far from a high priest of art as any novelist, especially any American novelist you can name. It was Byron, coincidentally, who wrote, One hates an author, that's all author. And that was part of Helen's charm, that you smell the world and all its pleasures on him, and not the midnight oil. He once told Kurt Vonnegut that if it hadn't been for World War II, he would have been in the dry cleaning business. Hard to imagine Philip Roth or Saul Bellow saying that, or even Norman Mailer, who would surely have stayed in an aggressive line of work and been a prize fighter or something similar if the writing hadn't worked out. Some dry cleaner Heller would have made. Would he ever have been completely satisfied? He had removed your stain. In fact, though the books came slowly, he was a novelist to his bootlaces, an avid narrator who could not stop the story once it had started, who felt the terrors of existence so acutely that he had to tell them, and tell them until he would make them something else. There are novelists who mind their words, the school of Flaubert, and novelists who don't. Those who inherit the line of interminable telling, of inexhaustibility and seeming garrulousness, that begins with Rabelais and gets a second wind with Dickens. Heller was of the inexhaustible school. Okay, so this is about the introduction. ये चलेगा, and then we'll reach to preface to Catch 22.